Alright, we're gonna play some Kill Knight today. Some of our favorite games. I like these bullet hell kind of games. One wrong step and it's all over. I think I'm a fan of roguelites. You know, I haven't really played them a lot. But I've been thinking about playing Hades. Oh god! I missed it! No! Don't you hit me! Leave me alone! Oh my... Do you know how long I've been trying? Do you know how long I've been trying this? Literally months. I just can't fucking beat it, man. It's so hard. They just throw so much shit at you. And if you don't know how to use your tools at your disposal, you're done for. I was just straight up ranting to myself earlier. I don't know, I was just thinking about friendships and, you know, deep friendships and surface level friendships. You know, I feel like nowadays that's a very relevant topic, right? People thinking about friends and gaining friends and losing friends. Me particularly, it's going to be about losing friends. I am not a very social person. Surprise, surprise. But it's not because, oh, social media has ruined me. I've been like this since I was a kid, man. I've just been sort of just independent. You know, I kind of just did stuff on my own. For the most part, right? But, you know, I was still a kid. You know, there were still some things that I still needed help with, but I think that, you know, my parents saw like, oh, he's a smart kid, he'll figure it out. But there's like a lot of things in life that I just don't have enough perspective on in order to like figure shit out, you know? Because I talk too much, or I didn't talk enough. Like, so when I was a young kid, I think about like in first grade. You know the kind of kid I was? I was the kind of kid that would come up to you. You're like a new kid in the school, right? New kid in the school. I come up to you and I'd be like, oh hey, my name's TK, and over there that's a library, and if you go up the stairs and to the left, that's Miss Latrain's room. I really like Miss Latrain, she's awesome. I'm gonna show you to the cafeteria where you can eat all the food. Don't eat the tater tots, they're nasty, they're gross. Like I was, and I was like that kid. I'm like, let me show you around. Like I was that kid, right? But then, you know, you go through life and you go through school and you realize something. Oh, you're annoying. you annoy people because you talk too much. You do way too much talking and you ask way too many questions. And not everybody's trying to sit here and answer all your goddamn questions. With me, it was always, what we doing? When we doing it? What are we watching? What are we gonna do? And I was always annoyed at teachers. They always tell me to shut up. TK, well, they won't tell me to shut up. You know, they're teachers or whatever, but you know, they're like, hey, TK, be quiet. TK, be quiet. TK, be quiet. And then when I talk to the other kids, it was always be quiet, or I don't want to talk to you, or something. And it doesn't even have to be like explicit. I can just tell, you know, that they're just not. I'm just not their people, you know. They did not want to have a conversation with me, and that's fine. It's fine now. But back then, I was just confused as to like, why? Oh, no. I was just confused as to like why nobody would want to talk to me and whatnot. You know, as an adult, I mean, I don't know how much I care about that now. But when I was a kid, I learned, okay, so be quiet and don't talk because nobody likes it when you do talk. Everybody hates it. Everybody tells you to be quiet. Everybody tells you to shut up. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop talking then. And like this really, I think I have hindsight to help with this. But like I noticed when I stopped talking and I you know, I started hanging out with myself, you know, being in my room all the time, not interacting with my family. And by the way, how I was before, I was always like, hey y'all, let's get together, let's have fun, let's play games, let's all, you know, hang out and chill and have some fun together. That's how I was like when I was a young kid, right? And then, you know, you realize nobody likes to hear you talk, nobody wants to talk with you, nobody wants to hang out with you, and so it became, okay, well I'm just gonna go in my room and just like not say anything to you, not say anything to anybody. And so that's what I did. I stayed in my room. And then like when I became like, it was like middle school, early high school, the questions went from, TK, why you talking so much, to why you always in your room? Why you don't want to talk to nobody? And like, you know, I have retrospect to help with this, but like I wasn't thinking about any of this at the time, but now I'm just like, I wonder why. I wonder why GK doesn't talk so much now. It's because when I did, nobody fucking listened. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit. And to a certain degree, I can understand. Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can see where I was annoying, because there are people that I know in my current life who didn't necessarily outgrow, right, the kind of behaviors that I was exhibiting, like the over talkativeness and saying too much and talking and doing too much. They haven't necessarily outgrown it, even though they're grown-ass adults. Nowadays, I just don't talk. I just don't engage with people. But so the crux of the issue is I'm a manager, right? So part of my job is to make people want to work under me, right? Make people want to listen to me, make people want to work with me. That's kind of like, that's part of the job. That's what you have to do. People are not going to want to listen to you if they don't like you. This is what I've noticed, right? I have been on a journey, let's say, right? I have been on a journey, and I have just been learning a lot about myself. I've been spending a lot of time by myself, and I've been learning a lot. I've been learning a whole lot, all right? You learn what you like, you learn what you don't like, you learn your interests, you learn what doesn't interest you. And I've just been taking some time to just like not talk as much. I wasn't talking that much before, but you know what I mean. Like I'm like really quiet now. Like I really don't say much anymore, because I don't know, I'm just like figuring shit out like internally on the inside, because I'm kind of just like, I got tired of like living in confusion of like not knowing who I am or what I want to do. So, you know, I've just been taking some time to chill and figure that out, because I think that's important for me to like move on, to make bigger decisions in life. I gotta know how to move. I gotta know how to operate. God damn. I hesitate to talk about this because, you know, she's a sensitive person, and I feel bad for like talking about her in this way. Because I don't think that she's a bad person, but it's just being friends with her has become a lot more difficult recently. We've been like close friends for a minute now, and recently she's told me, oh, you've been growing distant, you haven't really been talking to me as much. Do you hate me? Are we not friends anymore? I feel like you don't want to be my friend anymore. I'm like, I can tell you the reason why I'm not talking as much. Because she wants me to like be honest with her and like don't like spare her feelings. But she said, don't spare my feelings. I'm a sensitive person. It is what it is. I know who I am. I was like, okay. So like I've just been like focusing on myself, becoming more of myself, and realizing that I'm not socializing. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. I can turn it on and off like I said earlier, but it's very draining to me. Having conversations with people, like being in a 9-to-5 job, being in a service industry at that, you know, you have to like constantly talk to people, and it's tiring. It takes so much energy out of it. I be like on the days where I was like super talkative, I be so exhausted. I literally just do not want to do anything else. But on the days where I was not all that talkative and I like saved my energy, oh, when I get home, I'm bouncing off the walls. I'm having a grand old time. I'm like, let's go outside, buddy. I got a dog, right? All right, let's go outside, buddy. Let's go, you know, toss the rope around, because he likes tug of war. And I'll have so much energy. I have energy to spare. And this is just something that I've noticed about myself, right? It's not to say, oh, I just hate people and I just don't like talking to people. Truth be told, people just do annoy me. But, you know, it's people, man. It's just, I'm not gonna like everybody. I'm not gonna agree with every decision that everybody makes, and I can live with that. But I don't I don't know how to do surface level. If I'm talking to you and I'm joking with you and I'm like clowning around with you, I feel like I'm getting close to you, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna ask questions about your life. I'm gonna get involved. I'm gonna get invested. That's just what I do. I'm going to care. But as I said before, it takes a lot out of me, because for better or for worse, I see flaws in people, right? I see flaws in people, and I see like ways that they can improve and how they can change their lives, and the things they need to do to, like, you know, to change and get better. I can see those things, and I don't know how to have like surface level conversations with you, or how to talk with you knowing that you have these problems. You know what I mean? My whole goal is like, I want everybody to be better. I want everybody to be the best possible version of themselves. But what I'm learning is that not everybody, either one, is not ready to hear all that, or two, they don't really care about like being the best version of themselves. So it's not really a concern of theirs. I think I might die here. I don't like hearing you saying these people are treating you bad and people are treating you this way, and your life is like this and it's horrible and you can't figure it out. And I'm like, okay, well, I have some ideas. I don't know if they're gonna work, but these are like actionable steps that you can take to, like, you know, to like get better. My only friends come from work. Okay, I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I don't have a social life, right? My only friends come from work. So at the time, I had what you would call us close. You would call us close friends. And so they would tell me about their lives and tell me what they got going on and whatnot. And again, I would try to help. I'd be like, hey, we can do these things to like help situations, so you don't have to like feel bad about it all the time. And they didn't listen to me. Now it may be that like I'm not in that situation, so maybe they thought that I didn't understand, or, you know, because they had to help me through so much stuff that, you know, maybe it was coming from like the wrong person. The advice was coming from the wrong person, right? It could be that we just wasn't as close as I thought we were. For whatever reason, they would not do what I told them to do and what I suggested them to do to like help fix their situation. And so almost, not every time, but, you know, when it would come up in conversation and they talk about, you know, their problems and their issues and whatnot, it was always the same thing. But like, I get tired of hearing about the same problems over and over again. Especially after I told you, I'm like, we can solve it by doing this. We can solve it by doing this. And it's not even like it's gonna be easy, but it's like, that's what I'm here for, right? If we're friends, I want you to do the difficult things. Oh God, frame rate. I want you to do the difficult things, but then like come call me and come like text me and hit me up and say like, hey, this happened and this difficult thing happened today, but, you know, these are the things that I'm doing to like fix the situation, and you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to hear about. I do want to hear about your problems, and I do want to hear about your trials and tribulations, but I also want to hear about how you are fixing them. You know what I mean? That's what I also want to hear. I'm not saying that I don't have bad habits. I'm not saying that I don't make the same mistakes over and over again. But every so often when I see the opportunity to make a different choice, I make a different choice, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in the same situation again. I don't want to encounter the same problems. And yes, some of the stuff that it's been difficult. Some of the stuff has been difficult, yes. But I look at where I was and where I'm at now. I'm not saying, oh, my life's just amazing and I'm in such a good position and I'm just making so much money and my life's awesome. I didn't say that. My life is stable, all right? My life is stable right now, all right? The money's coming in. I'm saving money. I'm having a little bit extra leisure money, right? Like, it's not a lot. I am not rich by any means, not even close. But having a couple extra $100 at the end of the month, hey, that's kind of nice. So I'm not saying that my life is like glorious or anything, but I'm not where I used to be because I did all those little things to like improve my mindset and you know, and I got myself out of certain situations, you know what I mean? I think for the most part, you know, if we're comparing things, my life isn't, it hasn't been all that bad in the grand scheme of things. That's why I've like chilled out a lot more now. I used to be super anxious and super like, you know, super depressed and all that stuff. But now I've chilled out because I'm like, man, if you really think about it, shit ain't even that bad, bro. What? Like I can chill out. So, you know, for the most part, I've been chilling. If you keep tripping over the same goddamn thing, and all you have to do is pick it up, and you're like, no, picking it up is too much work, or whatever excuse you want to give. I, for one, I don't want to see you continuously trip over the same stuff. Especially if I told you, and even in some cases, I've picked up the thing that you kept tripping on, and you put it back down there. It's nobody else's fault. Like, yes, there are some people in your life that are causing you problems and causing you turmoil, but it's because you keep inviting it. You keep inviting it. And I'm sorry, I don't think that you're a bad person. I don't think that you're like, I don't know, I don't think that you have like bad intentions in your heart, and you know, you really do care, and you look out for people, but it's like, I can't do that. I can't sit here and laugh and joke and be all joking with you knowing that you're in this situation. I want to help you, but you also don't want my help. I made a choice a bit ago, right? When I was like very, very low, very down. I'm like, listen, man, you thinking about jumping off the deep end all the time. You know damn well you're not gonna do it. You know you're not gonna do it. You think about it all the time, but you're too scary. You're not gonna do it. So let's make a vow, or let's have a little bit of conviction in this lifetime, okay? Let's try and do something. I don't care what you do. I really don't. I'm talking to myself, right? Like, I don't care what you do. It doesn't even have to be big. It doesn't even have to be that important. It doesn't have to be bigger than you. Just do something and enjoy doing it, or find some fulfillment in doing it. I don't really care what it is. But I think to them, just going to work and talking with people at work is good enough. It's good enough because they can go to work and forget about their problems and forget about their. They can distract themselves with conversation and joking and friends and all that stuff. They got to go back home and deal with their problems and deal with their shit, yeah. But at least while they're at work, you know, they can play tag and they can, you know, scare each other, you know. I don't know. It's the environment at the store is childish to say the least. Okay. At a certain point, I became aware that you're not going to be moving as fast as I am. But I'm an honest person, and I'd rather just like talk about the shit than distract myself from it, because then it won't be fixed. Then I'm gonna encounter the problem again, and then I won't have a solution, and then I'm gonna be miserable again. I don't like doing that. I don't like being in those positions. So am I an expert at fixing my problems? Absolutely not. Am I still having some of the same issues that I've been having for a long time? Yes, I have. I'm not saying that I have like the magical pill that can fix everything. I'm just saying that it's not a lot of effort, but I'm putting in some effort to try and, like, you know, to mitigate my suffering. You know? And it just seems like for most people, at least the people at my job, it just seems like they can't. That's not. They don't want to. They don't care about mitigating their suffering. They care about postponing it, kicking the can down the road for as long as possible. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we can laugh and we can joke and we can be all friendly and haha, but at some point we're gonna have to be like, okay, time to crack down, right? At some point you have to say that. At some point you have to say, let's crack down on these issues. I know I'm repeating myself, but I cannot be laughing and joking all the time. I'm a very contemplative person. I like being in my head sometimes, and so I value silence. And so what tripped me up about, you know, this relationship, this friendship was, she's like, oh, well, I just want you to be yourself. Okay, I'm being myself. I'm being quiet. Oh, it just seems like you're pulling away from me. What? But you said I can be myself. You said I can be. I'm quiet. That's what I am. I'm just silent. Oh, it just seems like you just become distant and you're not talking anymore. Okay, so when she told me that, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna act distant. I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna joke, I'm gonna do all that stuff when she wants me to. or when I see that she needs this, right? I'm like, okay, she's feeling bad. She needs laughter. She needs laughter. She needs joking. Mind you, I'm not very good at it. Okay, my humor is not great. It's pretty trash. All right, I'm not the most funniest person on the world. This takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy. It does. Socializing is just not my strong suit. Okay, I have to put effort into it. I have to. And so at one point, we had the conversation again. Oh, you're mad at me. You're growing distant from me. And you know, we talked about like being honest with each other. I'm like, okay, well, honestly, I do a lot of things that I don't want to do in order to like make you happy. And she's like, what? Why would you do that? I said, because it makes you happy. What do you mean? I'm doing it so you won't feel bad. What do you mean? It's just like, well, I don't want you to do anything that you don't want to do. But I'm like, yeah, but isn't that what friendship is? Isn't that what like compromise is? We do a little bit of something that we don't want to do. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk all the time. I don't want to joke all the time. I don't want to be goofy all the time. But for the most part, it seems like that's what you want to do. And so whenever we hang out, we laugh, we goof, even though I don't feel like it. Even though I don't feel like doing it, that's what we do. And for a minute, I was fine with this. I'm like, I can put a little bit more energy. I can be a little bit more tired this day. That's fine, because at least she leaves happy and we had a good time, right? But she says, okay, well, I don't want you to do that anymore. And I want you to be honest with me. Like you seem to be. She told me that I seem to get upset with her, but I don't tell her. I have a problem with you while we're at work, yeah, but I'm not gonna like blurt it out right then and there, because one, it's not the appropriate time, and even if I do, all of a sudden you're gonna be crying in the middle of your shift. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen, so I swallow my tongue, and then I think about it. I'm like, is this even really like a big issue to be really that upset about? It's not. I let it go. Like it's hard being a friend. It's hard, because it's like, okay, well, I want you to be yourself. I want you to not be fake around me. Okay, I won't be fake. I'm just gonna tell you how it is. Oh, you're negative, and I just feel like you just say a bunch of negative stuff. She wants me to like give her compliments, and like she wants me to like reassure her and all that stuff. And I usually do. Like in the beginning, toward beginning, middle, yes, that's what I would do. I would constantly reassure her. I would constantly be like, no, I'm not angry with you. No, I'm not upset with you. No, you're fine. Everything's gonna be good. You're good. You perform well. You're doing okay in life. Most of that was lies, not gonna lie. Cause you're not doing well. You're not doing great. You kind of suck at life. It's okay, but it's okay, cause I suck at life. And I was honest with her about that too. I'm like, I'm not that great at life either. I kind of suck at it too. But we can like suck together, and we can like improve. If you're doing something great, I just won't say anything. I don't know. There's nothing to talk about. You're doing awesome. Good for you. But I know that this is how she is. This is the kind of like reassurance that she needs. This is the kind of energy that I need to bring. This is the kind of energy that I need to bring to this friendship. And at a certain point, I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of lying to you. I'm kind of tired of lying to you and like feeding into your delusion that you're doing great when you're not. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I cannot sit there and laugh and joke around with you knowing that you have these problems. I can if we're working on them. And then she tells me, oh, I have been working on them. But then when she talks about her problems, it's the same kind of like, she uses the same words and she uses the same terminology. Like when she talked about her family situation, she's like, this is how I see it. I see it as like the stars are falling out of the sky and there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, that's your problem. You see everything as the sky is falling. So of course, yes, if the sky is falling, then you are correct. There is nothing that you can do. I think of my problems as like changing a light bulb. Like the light went out, so it's a bit annoying. you feel lazy at first because you don't feel like going to the store, but then you muster up the courage, you take a shower, you make sure your breaths don't smell like shit, and you make sure your armpits don't smell like onions, and you go to the store, and then you have to talk to people, and you don't really feel like talking to people, but you do anyways. You be social, you do the thing, and then you go search through the aisles, and you can't find it because you're a little stupid. So you can't find the light bulbs, so you gotta go ask somebody to find the light bulbs, and then you go and buy the light bulbs, and then you get back home, and then you realize, oh shoot, the light is way up there, I need a freaking ladder, I don't have a ladder, so now you gotta go back out to the store to go get a ladder, and do the same thing, talk to the same people, and maybe live through a little embarrassment of like, haha, yeah, can you believe it, I forgot a ladder, crazy. And then you get back home, and then you take out the light bulb, and now there's like some wires in the light bulb that you have to like disconnect, and then you shock yourself because you left the power on, and then you have to look up a YouTube video. Like, it's all this, like, it's annoying. It's kind of, you get hurt a little bit, there's a little bit of pain, there's a little bit of embarrassment, but it's just changing a light bulb. That's all it is. If you can see problems as just changing a light bulb, they become so much easier to encounter. And in so many words, like, I didn't have a good analogy at the time, but I was just telling her, I'm like, yeah, if you see the sky is falling all the time, you're not going to be able to solve your problems, no. But if you think about it as changing a light bulb, then yeah, everything becomes easier. It becomes simpler. It becomes simpler. Maybe not easier, but simpler. And all you want to do to solve your problems is to distract yourself. And I'm not here for it. I don't want people in my life that just wants to bypass their problems and just pretend that they don't exist. I don't want that. So for the time being, you know, unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna just have to be by myself for a bit, and I have to accept that.